Welcome to Kill Team Casuals, a podcast all about Kill Team filmed in 3 different time zones by 3 different gents.
Hey friends, Ben here, the only one on the podcast without a cool accent. Just dropping by to say thanks a ton for listening or watching, however you enjoy the podcast. It really does mean a lot to us. And if you are a faithful listener or unfaithful listener, we don't judge, and you're thinking, man, I just can't get enough of these 3 rascally boys and their casual Kill Team talk. What else can I do to support? Where else can I find these guys? Well, friend, I would point you to the Kill Team Casuals Patreon page. For just a few bucks a month, whatever you wouldn't miss falling out of your pocket, you can get access to the full long-form video podcast, as well as stay up to know, in the know, or all around the know, all up inside the know, if you will, on what's going on, all these Patreon extracurricular activities, this fun stuff. So, and if you want to be a real baller, you can even be a guest on Legions of Rust, the world-famous game show at the very tippy-top tier. And if you want to be the coolest nerd at your local game store, you can check out some sweet Casual Wargamers merch. That's short for merchandise, if you didn't know, at our Teespring shop. It's getting a little too silly. casualwargamers.creator-teespring.com. And as always, we go live most Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. Thanks so much. I will shut up. Back to the lovely show.
The Mandrakes are here, and they're full of top knots. They look really cool.
They do look very cool.
What were your initial thoughts on the Mandrakes?
I don't want to say. I feel bad. My initial thought was these models look great. Love them. Love the Mandrakes. Always love the Mandrakes. But again, it doesn't feel like a kill team. And I don't want to say that because we haven't seen the rules. And this is the same thing I said about the Blades of Cain.
Yeah.
And arguably they're a very good team in Kill Team. I think we're seeing the new way. I think my camera's not going to survive this podcast, so we're just going to go on audio.
That's fine. I'm sick of looking at you anyway.
They had the White Dwarf, and then they had the other team. So one's your White Dwarf team, the other one's just going to be, an actual bespoke kill team. This might be the new way they're doing those quote unquote the White Dwarf teams, because it's it's just a 40k team, but they're going to give it rules that make it playable in Kill Team, because Blades of Cain is just 40k units, but they've been given with those aspect forms enough. Well, to be fair, it just feels like all the stuff that they basically be given the Hand of the Archon, Harlequin, and the Corsair's best abilities have just been thrown at this team. So maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but they've been giving them a lot of stuff kind of added in to make a team that's not built for Kill Team work in Kill Team, which, I don't know, I guess in my heart of hearts, I would have loved to see individual operatives within that Mandrake team, but we don't have that. We have almost identical models.
Yeah. I'm
just like, that's a shame.
I saw an interesting chat / Reddit feed the other day, and I love it because I get lost in people's comments and the hilarious infighting, or especially when people are talking about the same thing and agreeing, but they still fight for some reason. But I guess the thematic thing too, and I know I've been guilty of this in the past too, being like, I really was over the fact that we were just getting lots of teams and they'd have a comms, sniper, they'd have it was starting to feel very, planned, that every team had an archetype and a way it's set and operatives you expected. And I guess Blades of Cain is a good example of the models are actually all very similar, but it's the team rule, or in their case, the aspect stuff that brings the flavor to the team. And I'm like, and someone was sort of saying exactly that. They're like, well, you can't have the best of both worlds. You can't have, well, I don't want it to be models that have set roles because that bores me. But then I also don't want to have teams that have very similar looking models, but they've got flavor in their rules. So it's like,
it's an interesting one. Like it does seem like this is the best possible scenario for G-dubs, in that they can make a unit for 2 games, but the rules, as long as they get the rules right, I think that's okay. Like, and as long as it's not for every team, Like, that's cool. I think that's cool. Like, sometimes it works. Like, honestly, mandrakes, I think it kind of probably works with their lore. Like, you wouldn't get a mandrake medic.
Yes.
Like in a weird way, like
the comms guy.
Comms, yeah. Like, but you could do it the way the sisters have a comms guy. Like, it's someone that whips them into like a fury. Like, that might work. And like the beastmen have but like not all of it is going to work. But they might. I mean, we haven't seen the rules. Like, they're either going to do the Blades of Cain thing and say, here's all the rules that make them special, or they could go like Felgor Ravagers, and each individual operative it's just going to be really hard to discern which one is which.
Yeah.
That's going to be right. It's going to kill proxies because you or maybe not kill proxies, but people would be like, well, I've learned the models as is, and it's going to be real difficult. But I think it's going to be more like the Blades of Cain.
Yeah, because I like looking at those models. I mean, you can clearly kind of pick like it looks like there's like a leader type model, and then there's the guy who's throwing like the black little his little darkness shroud thing. And apart from that, everyone else looks pretty similar. There's not too much. Yeah, they're fantastic models.
Two-handed. Yeah, they're lovely models. Models. A couple of people in the chat saying maybe they're going to give us other models with them, like racks or like I don't know what else they would have. I can't see it, but maybe that might be the way they do it. But they only the kit is mandrakes, but they say but. And that might be an interesting team because that's how it used to be in Kill Team 1. It used to be like, you can take the Kabbalite warriors and these guys, or you can take witches and these guys. And that'd be a cool way to do it.
I'm missing a little bit of that idea of like the ragtag bunch of, it's not you're taking just guardsmen or you're taking space. What about, you've got a space marine and a guardsman and a sister of battle because they've been thrown together because of situations.
That would be cool.
Like a Dirty Dozen type kind of thing, Expendables, that it's this, bit of all different bits and pieces thrown together.
Thanks for watching. The full pod is available where you listen to your podcasts. We stream live on Twitch at Casual Wargamers, and the full video podcast is available now to all tiers of our Patreon. See you next week.